Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Calhoun's. The remaining bowl games, the national championship game, the NFL playoffs. Look, January is the perfect time to watch some football at one of the 9 area Calhoun's locations, or also a good time to pick up one of their party planners or their Feed 5, Feed 10 family packs. Take their food back to your party. Calhoun's, they got all kinds of options, whether you're there enjoying the games at the bar, enjoying their food, or bring it home to your own house. Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. All right, various rumors and reports out there this week regarding Tennessee's ongoing offensive coordinator search. One site, A to Z Sports in Nashville, maybe some others, said that Steve Sarkisian's your guy once he's fired from the Falcons, which is coming tomorrow, I guess. And then you have VolQuest. They report, it's not a report, but they said they were just making a point that it's still wide open. Someone told them that, hey, Yurcich's name isn't out of this thing. So Sarkisian's getting talked about, Yurcich getting talked about, other names still out there. Personally, I don't think Jeremy Pruitt's anywhere done with this. I think that's why it's just still a big murky field. There's no leader in the clubhouse, I don't think, which tells me he ain't done, even though people want to think he's done. But my question to you guys, is there a name on this list, or one of those two that I threw out there that you like, that you don't like? Do you think the best option is still rather than these two options? Where are we?
John, I like Yurcich. I like him. Researching him, when you look at what he's done at Oklahoma State, he's been there 6 years, 4 times they won at least 10 games. But he's also done it with lesser talent. He's done it with receivers and running backs that were 3-star players, quarterbacks that weren't that highly rated. He has found a way to get more out of his players that were not these big star players. And a lot of that's player development, it's play calling. And when you look at that, look, Tennessee's not in the greatest shape with the talent either. So I think you go get somebody that can do more with less, and I think he's proven at Oklahoma State he can do that.
Do you factor in that he's been doing it against Big 12 defenses?
No.
That fits what I talked about last week in terms of, Jeremy Pruitt said it can be overrated. How serious was he about that comment is up for debate. When he said the offense coordinator can be overrated, it's all based on talent. Okay, not with Yurcich. There are guys out there who have done more with less, and that's exactly where I would be looking at those types of guys. My only concern with Yurcich would be, is his style of offense going to be 100 miles an hour up tempo? How long is that going to work with Jeremy Pruitt, a defensive-minded coach, watching his defense have to keep going back on the field? If you're successful and you score every 2 minutes, congratulations, you've worn your defense down.
The one thing interesting is that he is not a pass-happy guy. If you look at it, they run the ball more than people think.
And another thing you would like about Yurcich, too, is that he also does run the offense. Some of these guys, you wonder, does the head coach actually do it? But here you've heard that, yes, he actually does it there and does a really good job, highly thought of, has been there several years. So, I mean, that's why I'm hoping they get the best guy, a great fit, and is going to be here for a while.
Steve Sarkisian with the Falcons hasn't done well since moving into that offense, an offense that was really good before he got there when they went to the Super Bowl, barely lost. Unfortunately, the Falcons not only allowed their offensive coordinator to go become the head coach at the 49ers, they allowed him to take everybody else off the offensive staff. So it was Sarkisian coming in and starting from an absolute scratch, and it hasn't gone well. He was at Alabama as an analyst. He was supposed to be the coordinator. He ran one game, I believe, and then jumped to the Falcons. Right. He had been at Washington as a head coach, and everybody knows the story there, the personal problems that led to his losing the job.
At Southern Cal.
At Southern Cal, yeah. Washington, then Southern Cal, and then lost the job. Is that a fail? I heard on the radio on Friday, heard some people saying, well, hire Sarkisian, you're never going to win here. He's a loser. So we definitive that any of these guys are complete and total losers? Obviously, I'm not. I think that's silly.
I don't think so, no.
Is that a fail if you hire Sarkisian, though?
No, not till you see how it turns out.
Yeah, it's not a fail. I don't think I would go that route.
Longer shot than Yurcich.
And Sarkisian would be probably the opposite in some ways of Yurcich, in that you wouldn't look at Sarkisian and say he's done more than what's been given to him. He's gotten more out of that talent. I wouldn't say that. But he does have a lot of experience. I would bet on him and Jeremy Pruitt being on the same page more so than Tyson Elton.
And then a lot of it going to be how much control is the offensive coordinator going to actually have over the offense? Is he going to have full control? Or is Pruitt willing to let that go? Or is he still going to have his finger in the pies a little bit. I mean, that's a big part of this to me. That may be one reason why this thing keeps dragging out, don't you think?
No, absolutely. I think there are a lot of people who've probably made phone calls to Tyson Helton and said, okay, what's the deal here? That has to have played into it. And the problem for Pruitt is he's only got the 1-year track record. So you had 1 year, that's all we can look at. It didn't go well with your offensive coordinator. And you did seem to have your hand in the pie. You questioned the offensive coordinator basically after every loss, and there were a lot of losses, but you questioned the play calling and then walked back and said, but I'm not an offensive coordinator. Then you should probably stop taking shots at your offensive coordinator.
Well, for Mike Yurcich, going from working for Mike Gundy to Jeremy Pruitt would be complete opposite. So if
Gundy is a very laissez-faire
yeah.
kind of coach.
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yes. Yeah.
He's very laid back. He's not a 24/7 work your butt off around the clock. He wants guys out taking time off, having a little bit of a life. That would be a switch to go from that to taskmaster.
You think it's possible they've already got their hire, but they're waiting for the team season to end?
I do not. I don't think so, because I think we would have heard something. I think somebody would have said something. Could be wrong. Could absolutely be wrong. But knowing UT in the past, don't you think something would have leaked out? You're grinning. Do you think they have somebody already
No,
done?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's possible, though.
No, it's possible.
But I don't know that they have. If they announce somebody right after Oklahoma State's bowl game or right after the NFL season's over, then I think he had that guy. And
he's been awfully relaxed.
He has been. That makes me suspicious.
Leery. We're leery.
All right, very good. Hey, when we come back, we've still got a preview of Tennessee's basketball schedule. We're going to talk about Mullen-Pruitt. We're going to make a little comparison there. Would this program be better if Mullen had come here? But next, it's the end of 2018, so we're going to look at the very best stories of the year from UT's perspective. What was the one best? We got our nominations. And then worst of the year. Which one do we want to forget? We'll discuss all that next 2 segments. Going back on the Sports Source.